Welcome to another pop culture video with Marvel Bros. Um, Before we get started, make sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts at Marvel Bros 23, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
You see it.
To check out our YouTube and now our Spotify. We have Spotify, so where you could listen to everything we talk about.
Yeah,
so,
and it's
so cool.
It seems supernatural. I'm not even gonna lie. I was listening to some of our episodes on there, and I was like, God damn, this is the way to go.
Yeah,
like,
this is the way. You know?
This is the motherfucking way. It was amazing. It's awesome. It's awesome that we're on Spotify. And you know what? I forgot to even put our link in the description, and that's something that I will definitely have to add after the fact of this. Put it in there. Make sure you guys check us out on Spotify, just like Christian had said, and also on our website, www.marvelbros.com. And if you're looking for us on Spotify, just look for Marvel Bros, and we gonna pop up Marvel Bros Pop Culture News Update. We gonna see us, man. And yeah, we got all of our stuff going there. We have every single old pop culture news update on our Spotify, except for last week's, which will go up tonight because that just went up on our YouTube tonight. Yep. So that'll go up tonight as well. And yeah, man. And don't forget to join our Discord. The link is in the bio, where we talk about all things Marvel and everything pop culture. You already know how we do. Like I said, me and Christian were going back and forth talking about Wonder Woman a little bit. It was like midnight, I think. And we were, and that's just how the Discord is. So make sure you guys jump in there and talk to us, get your little ideas, your theories popping off, whatnot. We always got open discussions. Much love to you. So let's dive on into it, man.
All right. Okay. First off, before we get into anything, what were your expectations for Wonder Woman 1984?
Okay. Initially, you know how I felt about the first Wonder Woman movie, okay? And if you guys don't know, I'm going to briefly tell you. The first Wonder Woman movie to me was a joke. It literally, every single expectation that I had, it fell short to it. Every single one. I was furious, man, because it broke my heart. You know what I mean? It was kind of like one of those. It broke my heart. Because Wonder Woman is an amazing and powerful character. She is basically the female version of Thor. You know what I mean? And they did not give her that type of love. Okay. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, going into Wonder Woman 1984, I was like, all right, bro, my expectations was like through the roof for the first movie. So let me lower my expectations for this one. Yeah. So, and then we were talking so much shit about the trailers that they had because it looked like cats and everything. So I was really nervous about this movie. But then when I was watching it, and real quick, the movie was low as hell. I don't know if they can fix that with these theater movies that are coming out on streaming. But for me, like Mulan, the volume, it's like not loud for me. At least. It's not loud at all. Like every other thing that I watch, it's loud. It's beautiful. It sounds good. For that movie, it was low. I thought my Bose was broken. I don't know.
You know what? No cap. We thought the same issue. I had to shut off my surround sound, because I don't know if I don't think they ever
was
going through at all. And so
I don't think they ever formatted it.
I only could hear from my back speakers, and it's just the voice, and it's I really couldn't hear anything else. And so I had to shut off my surround sound and watch it through the TV volume hella loud.
Yep, that's the same thing that we almost did, but in the end, it was just like, bro, we might have we switched TVs. We went from the front room to the living room because we thought that our Bose was not working or something, and then it was like, nah, man, these movies are not made for an in-home experience yet. They were literally made. The audio, everything was made for theater release, and I don't think they looked at the audio at all. It happened with Mulan, and now it's happened with Wonder Woman. So that's my first thing. Okay, and that irritated the fuck out of me. So, but it still didn't deter me away from the movie. But so my expectations were my expectations for the first one was up here, so I brought them down to right here. Okay, and going in with those expectations allowed me to appreciate the movie more. And that's what. So I think that answers your question that you asked me initially, and then I'll let you continue with your thoughts.
Okay, so my expectations. Okay, so from the first movie, I'm opposite of
Yeah.
Mark. I actually kind of enjoyed the first movie.
I remember we talked about that, and I was like,
With
"You're freaking out of your mind."
with that said, the first one had its issues. Obviously, maybe some might say with the pacing, the
And the
villain,
CGI.
maybe the CGI, um, the villain, trash.
Ass.
Like what? Didn't make sense at all. But I I guess I could also say the same thing for what the villain in this
It
movie.
was the same thing.
Same thing. And we'll get
Just
into
some
that.
random dude.
And like it just felt like Kat was there just so that she could have someone to fight and not even have a
Yes.
real villain. Like, it
Yes.
was,
Yes.
but like,
Yeah, I agree completely.
like I talked about in our official like written review for the movie about like how uh part one had a lot of good things that the new one did not have.
Yes.
And the new one had things that the first one did not have. And so and we can get into that later, but I didn't have super high of an expectation because I know, I love DC, but I know they kind of drop the ball a lot
all the time on
when
everything.
it comes to the movies. But I had faith, especially but COVID, happened, and so it was a good watch for me, expectation wise. But again, I fell short.
It was a good watch. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna say it wasn't a good watch. Okay, like I can't say that it wasn't a good watch because I
Yeah.
had a good time watching it.
Mhm.
But the movie was cheesy as hell, dude.
Okay.
It was like a box of Cheez-Its. Like it was so cheesy, bro. Like every time she jumped in the air and her knees were like, like, bro, I was like, oh my god.
Okay, first
like,
off, we're gonna be talking about spoilers. Going into what you're talking about, like how it was cheesy.
Mhm.
It was like this movie's based in the 1980s. And in the very beginning of the movie, it kind of makes you feel like, oh, it's a movie that's made that's like put in the 1980s, but it's also being like made in the style of a 1980s film, but like
Mm.
not a good one.
No,
Kind of.
you are completely correct with that because the vibes that I got were very similar to like the old Superman movie. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like those were the vibes. It was like the
Yeah.
old Superman movies, super old ones,
Mhm.
where you see, bro, I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it. It felt like a Disney movie, and I don't mean that by like a Marvel Disney movie.
Yeah.
It felt like Artemis Fowl. You know what I
Like a
mean?
cartoon almost at times.
Yes, like, bruh. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Okay.
One of the things.
I'm about to say, I want you to say your piece in full, and then I'll say my piece in full.
Okay.
So how did you feel beginning, and then how did you feel middle, and then how did you feel end? Let's do it like that.
First off, the idea of using a dreamstone was bullshit, in my opinion. I thought that was the worst and most lazy thing they could have done,
Cop out.
narrative-wise.
I agree.
Second, the first 3/4 of the movie were fucking boring as shit for me. Like no cap. Maybe the like first half was boring as shit. After that, okay, it was kind of interesting. I appreciated how they did their best to create, like, to help you care about the characters that were in the movie.
Yes.
Because they did, like in Wonder Woman, the first one. We
They
kind of
didn't
see
give
that,
you
but
any
it's not that it's not that good.
Yeah.
It's not that good. And, but I will say the first one had the action that this one does not. Like you see Wonder Woman like in the suit like maybe twice in like the first hour and a half of the movie.
That's true.
And then after that, you see her, but like it was very slow leading up to its climax. And we see that in other movies like The Dark Knight Rises, but with those movies we have good narrative.
Yes.
And we didn't have that with this movie, I felt like. With that said, it's not a terrible movie. Like, it's not a waste of time.
It's definitely not a waste of time. It is worth the watch.
It's worth the watch, and that's what I wanted to make clear when I had written our because I didn't want to completely thrash the movie.
Yeah,
but I just wanted to make sure that people understood, like you're gonna like it or you're not, and I think that's what's happening worldwide. It lost its certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
It did.
Oh shit!
It did. And again with Cheetah, I actually really enjoyed her character, but
I enjoyed her character.
It was her character. Also, again, I felt like they were really lazy with the movie in that, like, okay, we've seen that type of character before, like the bullied employee becoming the villain, like Electro. Like, we just saw these things. Just it's common. And I want to, as a moviegoer, I want to be shocked. I want to see new. I just watched Tenet, and I was blown away. That movie was so bold in their approach with their writing that I loved that movie. With this movie, I can't say they did that. I felt like they were lazy and they just wanted to do what they needed to do to make the fans happy, or not even the fans, but just movie people in general happy. Just get it out there. That way people can enjoy a movie to watch.
This movie was directed at teenagers and the younger audience.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
That's what it felt like.
This movie was more of a kids movie than the Spider-Man movies have been. This movie is the most kiddish thing. This is the most kiddish superhero movie we've ever had.
I felt the same way.
It was not. It felt like I was watching fucking Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Like, to be honest, like that's just how those were the vibes. It wasn't. Oh, man, like there was never a time when I was like, "Oh, this movie is good." You know what I mean? Like, it was very so. Okay, so when the movie started, right? It was great. It was a great beginning of a movie.
The start was pretty cool.
It was not a great beginning to a second movie, though.
Yes, I agree.
What we saw at the beginning of this movie should have been how we started the first Wonder Woman movie. That's how we should have started it. Because, and then they didn't even make us. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, so they made us care about this young version of Diana. You know
That's what I was about to get into. You just get into the kind of the segue that I was talking about.
Like, they made us really care about this young version of Diana. And I kind of feel like it was for nothing.
Like, legit. Like, they literally introduced the Amazonians and, like, this huge race. Like, it was actually really cool. And then, like, the only thing of importance that was there was the idea of, like, the truth is all.
Yeah.
And, like, lying is bad.
I was like, what is this?
Other than that, it's like, what was the point? Like, this could not have been in the movie, and we wouldn't have known. Like, literally,
wouldn't have felt
we wouldn't have known.
Not having that beginning scene would not have done anything from the movie. It wouldn't take. It would not take anything away from the movie, literally, because it was just like, okay, like it was all right. It was a time filler. Like the first 15 minutes of the movie constructed a completely different movie than what we got.
Yeah.
And that is kind of what pissed me off the most. You know what I mean? We didn't see any of the other Amazonians. We didn't see any of the anything. They didn't even talk about the armor enough to even make us care about it.
Yeah.
And then she just has it. And it's like, bro, like you didn't do any world building. That's what the issue was, is they did no world building. It was just nothing but character development.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest downfall of the movie, is because they focused so hard on making us care about each character, which I did. I don't know. I cared about the villain. I cared about Cat Lady. I cared about Dude. I cared about all of them. You know what I mean? I cared about everybody. But then it didn't matter. Like, it did not matter. Even at the end of the movie, nobody went to jail. Nobody was arrested.
Yeah.
No villains had.
We don't even know if he was, like, got in trouble for what he did.
Like, bro, and I agree with you completely on the Dream Stone being the worst. That was the worst. The entire movie, I thought that we were going to see bruh turn into, like, like a freaking like how Brud did in the first movie. How he was just a regular dude, and then all of a sudden he was just like apocalypse. You know what I mean? Like that's what I think we lost Christian again. That's what I thought we were going for. But no, it wasn't. It wasn't that at all. It was not that by any means necessary. And it was just very, very irritating, man. Yep. Yeah. But like you were saying, they made us care about these characters. They gave them growth. And it was for nothing. It came to no spearhead.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like to the point where we never even saw the bad guy's wife, who was just dropping the kid off randomly. You know what I mean? Like it was just so fucking weird. It was just weird. It was like
it was just like there was a lot of things that they just I don't know if they cut out certain things or they just didn't want to do certain, like for example, when we first
laughable.
when is it Zoom or Max or the main dude villain, when he absorbs the stone and like becomes the stone, all that's left is a ring. And when Diana and Chris Pine's character find it, she's like, "Oh my gosh, that's the language of the gods." And then like she and it's like I figured, oh, okay, sweet, we're gonna go to Amazon, we're gonna go to Amazonia, and we're gonna figure out, see if her like her mom or someone there knows what it is.
Knows about the
but
guy.
like no, they decided to go to this like weird Aztec ancestor dude living in like an abandoned building and like forget about him after they talk. Like there's oh, you're just gonna believe this dude because he has this old book. Like, you know, it's just like
yeah,
there was weird choices with the writing and then like with the way they did things. Like, I was just like, how does this make sense? Like, you know, like I don't know. And then like
the CGI was terrible.
The CGI was terrible at the very beginning, and her fighting in the mall. I was kind of like, eh.
The CGI was terrible the entire movie.
That Cheetah looked way better than what I thought she was gonna look.
Oh, hell yeah!
When I forgot, Patty Jenkins was talking about something in an interview, and I was listening, and she was saying, "Oh, you're using CGI for your cat, for your cat humanoid person," and if you look at Cheetah in the movie, you can see that a lot of it is practical effects. Mm-hmm. I think the face and maybe a little bit of the coloring is CGI, but for the most part, the majority of it is practical effects.
But I mean, you can even see that they took the safe route of doing her cat scenes at night. So
yeah,
you know, we wouldn't have to be focusing too hard on.
And that kind of sucks, you know. And again, going back to what I said before was that Cheetah was just there so that Wonder Woman could have someone to fight. She didn't even fight the main villain. Like she basically just gave like a heartfelt speech, and the world was saved. Like that's it.
And I said in my like little worth the watch post on Twitter was you know, they fell into the trap of having the villain have the same powers as the hero. You know, I'm over that. You know, it's played out at this point. We don't want to see that anymore. She's just like. I just didn't understand it. And then for half of the movie, I was trying to I thought for half of the movie, honestly, I thought that Wonder Woman was losing her powers because the cat lady was gaining her powers and it was weakening Wonder Woman. And then in the end, it was just because of her wish. And it was just, I renounced my wish. And now she's at 1000% again. Like, bro, that it was just, like you said, just poor storytelling, man. It was.
Is that stone in the comics? Like, is that something that, or is that just made up?
I don't fucking know, man. And if it is, it's not in the way that they used it, at least. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like there was a way better story arc they could have chosen than this route. And like, again, you know, we do see that she does learn to fly in this one.
Why isn't she flying in any of the other movies, though?
You know, and that's a good point. And
why isn't she flying in Batman v Superman? Why isn't she flying in the Justice League movie?
I had forgotten that she's supposed to fly, because she flies in the animation, and
she's basically Superman. Like she's basically Superman.
And so, besides that, like, and maybe a little bit of character
lightning bolts for her if she can fly. I just
we don't really get a whole lot in terms of like lore, you know, and like we
No
do see
lore.
that, but
We
like
have no lore. The lore
it's
that
not
we
very
got
good.
was the fucking obstacle course that they did in the beginning of
Mhm,
the movie. That was the lore, you know.
mhm.
And then they tell us about Asteria, and we don't even know who she is.
And that's
They
that.
see this is the issue with DC stuff is they do not go DC movies. To me, they are not tailored to DC fans the
Mhm.
way Marvel movies are tailored to Marvel fans.
Yeah,
It's like they try to make the Marvel movies a superhero movie for the casual goer and then give fan service as well.
yeah,
And I did there they just don't do that at all with the DC movies, yo. There's not
yeah.
it's like they're just trying to make movies, you know. And at
Mhm,
this point, it's just yo, we're farther than that. Like you had said something that you said, which I really feel is that they shot the movie like it was 1984,
mhm.
like literally, and it made no sense. It made no sense. It's like we know this is a time period piece, but we're still in 2020.
Yeah.
Like it was just so cheesy. Like the fight in the what was it? The White House. Like
Mhm.
and when I can't when Cheetah was throwing everyone and shit, and then Wonder Woman was just catching them, and like
Yeah,
she pulled that chair with her whip, and then the nigga landed in the chair. I was
yeah.
like, are you are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is so cheesy. I felt
Mhm.
like it was Artemis Fowl. That was Artemis Fowl. That's what it was. Like,
Mhm. And then
bro, so lame.
an another huge issue I had with the film was the pacing.
Yeah,
And again, this goes back to what I was saying before. Is like the first quarter, first half, first three halves of the movie is so boring. Like it just like, and again, this goes back to the narrative. Like it just wasn't good.
does not feel like a superhero movie,
It doesn't. It just feels like a lot of dialogue, and then
like a
like
geology movie or something.
yeah, and then at the end of the movie,
Not at the museum.
like a fucking Indiana Jones movie, basically. And it just so
Yep,
happened that someone looked
that's
like
the
Wonder Woman.
yo. That is the best way to say it. It was like a fucking Indiana Jones movie, and not a good one. It
Yeah,
was like a bad Tomb Raider. Like
yeah.
it wasn't even good. And then bro, you know how I feel about CGI. You know how I
Mhm.
feel about these effects in these movies, bro. Yo, this movie had some of the lamest effects that I have seen in a very long time. Okay.
Mhm.
When Wonder Woman's flying through the clouds, lame. Like it was just lame. It didn't look like she was flying through the
Mhm.
clouds. It literally looked like the old Superman movies when he's flying through the
Yeah,
clouds.
Man of Steel is how you're
Like,
supposed to make the flying look because that shit
yes.
looked
Oh
badass.
yeah. Like they literally threw all of that technology away. Like they
Yeah.
threw it all away after that movie. And then after the movie, yo, they had a budget of $200 million, bro. Captain Marvel had 152.
Captain Marvel flying looks way better than that garbage.
They had $48 million more than the Captain Marvel movie, bro. And their CGI was nowhere near that. And we talked shit about the Captain Marvel CGI. We were like,
Yeah.
it was a little iffy at the end when she started flying and shit.
Yeah.
And that was just worse than that. Like it
Mhm.
was worse than bro. It was just like this movie. It's a good movie until you start picking at it.
Yeah. And then like the one thing that maybe rescued the movie for me in general that made it worthwhile, I guess, maybe that's like literally a sliver, like maybe is seeing the original Wonder Woman in the end credit scene and her being Asteria.
Yeah.
And because like again, like you talked about before, Diana brings up the armor, or Chris Pine finds it and he's like, "Oh, what is this?" And she's like, "Oh, that's the armor of Asteria." And we see like this cool scene of her like defending herself against a bunch of Spartans and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was badass.
That was
And
bad.
then it was like over, and then she was like, "Yeah, I found the armor, but I was never able to track down Asteria. Like I never found out what happened to her." And then like you see her in the end, and it's just like, where were you? What? Like why is this an end credit scene?
Yes.
And why weren't you in, like, like why couldn't you be a
Where have
part of
you
the movie?
been this
Yeah.
entire time?
It
Very
probably could have
similar
been
to how people felt about Captain Marvel. Like,
it
where
probably
were
could have
you?
been a better movie if she was there.
It would
Like
have been a far better movie if Asteria was there helping Diana be a better Wonder Woman
Yep.
because she was also a Wonder Woman before, quote unquote.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like passing the mantle for real. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? This was my armor and now it is yours. Like
Yep.
that would have been way better. Like you said, at the point where they found the ring and then they were like, she was like, that is the language of the gods. That movie would have been 1,000% better if at that point she went and found Asteria and Asteria let her know what the language said and what was going on. And then Asteria told her, do you
Yeah.
not know that you can fly? Do you not know that you have all these other, you know what I'm saying? That would have been way better rather than it just being, I renounced my wish. Like, bro, come on, fam. Like, come on, fam. Biggest cop out of the year was that.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
You know, I don't know. There was a lot of things that they could. There was a lot of things they could have done, like story wise, to make it a lot better, but they just chose the easy route. And honestly, I don't even know if what they chose was the easy route because, like, they spent the time to CGI and
it was
do
so
makeup
difficult.
for Cheetah, and it's like she was only in it for like fucking 10 minutes, and that was it. And like,
And then I was just, it just made, and then they didn't, oh, man. It was like at the end, what happens? Does she still have her powers? Like, does she not have her powers? Like,
yeah,
how did she get, like, I don't understand.
like
How did she get 2 wishes? That's what I was so confused about. She had already wished to be like Wonder Woman, and then, and we lost him again. She had already wished to be like Wonder Woman, and then at the end she wished to be an apex predator, and it's like, bruh, how do you have 2 wishes if everybody can only have one? There was just so many discrepancies within the movie that did not make sense to me. Yeah, I was just saying, man, like what happened? How did Cheetah get another wish?
that's
She
true.
wished to be like Wonder Woman, and then she wished to be an apex predator. But everybody's saying you can only get one wish. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, even in the simplest part of the movie, they made it complicated and it didn't make sense.
They like retconned it in the middle of the movie. Like
they retconned it in the middle of the movie. Like what? Since he became the Dreamstone, does now everybody get a whole new wish? It's technically a different dream. Like, bro, that doesn't even make sense. Then why didn't Diana just wish for? You know what I mean? Like, it's so ridiculous. And then she wished for Bruh to come back. And he comes back and assumes the consciousness in a body of a person that's already alive. Like, bruh.
And like, it's funny because I was watching another review to kind of see what other people thought, and he was like, "Did he have a family? Did he have children? Did he lose his job? Like, where was he for a whole week? Like,
did the police try to come and find him since he was in the fucking president's office? With you know what I mean? Like, what?" No, like, bro, it's just, nope, it doesn't matter. No, movie magic. Like, bro, there was too much of that. There was too much movie magic. There was too much, it's that way because it is. You know what I mean? Like, so Cheetah gets the stone and then the dude likes her and then she, like, even that was cheesy. You know what I mean? The bad guy himself was cheesy as hell. He seemed like a mixture of the villain from Ant-Man and the villain from Birds of Prey mixed together. In the end, I don't think that they met their marker. You know what I mean? Like, they shot for the stars, but did not even go past the clouds. Like, that's just how it felt for me.
I agree with you. And I think, like you were saying before, I think the third time's a charm. Yeah. And hopefully they take the mistakes they made and like the positive things that they did and bring them all together in part 3. And hopefully we get a better movie than what we got here. With that said, I'd rather watch the first one over and over again than rewatch this new one.
I'd rather fucking just delete my HBO subscription. Like, bro, like literally the only good DC movie, and which is still kind of cheesy to me up to this day, is well, no, I'm lying, because Aquaman is even not good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Man of Steel and Shazam are the 2 best DC movies that they have today. That's it. And
I couldn't agree with you more.
And hopefully they fucking, I don't know, they need to do something, man, because like, Shazam 1 was way better than Wonder Woman 1 and 2 put together. Like, it was
It was a good movie.
A cohesive story. You saw a great villain. You saw the villain become more of a villain. You saw the superhero really have to grow, and they even added more superheroes into the mix. And nothing was overwhelming about that movie.
Yep.
At no point was it like, damn, they're shoving a lot into this. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, this is a good ass movie the whole way through. Like, we both had the idea of it could have been a little bit, edgier, darker, so to speak, but it was a great movie nonetheless. Man of Steel, best, man, that's
like the best superhero movie ever made. Like,
that is like, that's up there. And then you got all of the Batman trilogies. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, where did they go wrong, man? Like, where did they go wrong with these villains, with these superheroes? Like, honestly, I don't even want Gal Gadot. I don't even know what her name is. I don't even want her as Wonder Woman anymore. That's how this movie made me feel. You know what I mean? The first movie made me feel like that. The first movie, I was like, this may not have been the right choice for Wonder Woman. And I feel even more like that now with this movie, because she's so cheesy as well. You know what I mean? Like, just when she talks and you just have to, it's like, bro, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you're an Amazonian. I don't believe you're Wonder Woman. I don't believe you're fucking swinging from these lightning bolts. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Like, when you see Thor and lightning bolts are coming from his eyes and he's fucking spinning and there's lightning like Raiden going everywhere, you believe that shit. I don't believe it with Wonder Woman, bro. I don't believe it.
I think it's because of the difference in what we get in Wonder Woman. Like, with the animated Wonder Woman, we see her literally kill men for enslaving women. Like, like, that's a different vibe compared to what we have with Gal Gadot. And I'm not saying she's a terrible actor, but like, I just feel like the writing and like the way they decided to portray Wonder Woman kind of made her almost like got her like
shades on her.
Yeah, they like set her up for failure almost, because and I just hope that in 3 they like we see that grittier version of Wonder Woman that we probably should see to make the franchise become better. Maybe she, I don't know, loses someone. Maybe like all the Amazonians die, or something happens, like something dark. Like,
hey, but this is what I'll say though, is because I made the connection to Thor earlier, and what I can say is her movies are going very similar to how Thor's was, because that second Thor movie was ass cheeks. Okay,
it was very complicated.
The first movie was kind of bad. It wasn't as bad as the second one, but
it was worth the watch.
And then that third one though, when they got Taika Waititi to come in, bro. Imagine if Taika Waititi directed Wonder Woman. That movie would be amazing.
That'd be pretty good. I think it'd be pretty good.
Amazing. I think they just don't have the right director for it. And I think they're going to know that when she directs Star Wars Squadron, because I know that movie is going to be amazing. And Disney gives people a different level of freedom than WB does. That's what has DC, right? It's WB. Yeah.
At least that's what it feels like with DC and like Disney movies. Like, so it seems like directors are held back with WB.
Yes, like they literally have like chains on their creative imagination. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't like it? Bye. You're fired. Like, that's literally we don't want to deal with your ass. Get the hell off our set. Like, it's literally what happens.
You got everybody like, yo, give us the Snyder Cut. Give us the Snyder Cut. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yo, we don't want Warner Brothers rendition. Like, motherfucker, we want the person that you paid money to make this movie's rendition. Yeah. You literally paid this person to give their experience and their idea and their perspective of what it means to be this character. So you need to allow them to do that in full-fledged with whatever, you know what I mean, within the parameters of, these contracts of different movies and, what you can say and can't say. That's already understandable. But like, even with not Wonder Woman, even with Captain Marvel, you could clearly see that they were holding that director back a little bit because it was the first movie. You know what I mean? They're like, yo, we don't want you to give us everything in this movie. Just give us a little bit. Very similar to Black Panther. You know what I mean? You could see that there was so much more to be built on. But it was like, this is the first one. We want people to kind of ease into this new world of Marvel that we're going to go into, and we want them to be able to follow along and appreciate that. And they have not done that with Wonder Woman. Especially when she is already an established character in the future, and we're going back into the past to catch up to the future, and she doesn't even have the same powers. Like, bro, that shit, it's just like little things like that that don't even make sense, man.
Yeah.
And it's just, like you said, just bad storytelling, bad timing, something. Like, I don't know what they need to do to get it together, but they need to get it together today.
And again, all in all, Wonder Woman,
it's
worth the watch, but it has a lot of issues.
Has many issues,
especially if you're like movie fans like us. Like, you'll see them and have an issue with them. If you're just an average moviegoer just watching the movie, you might hate the beginning because it's so slow. But
you're gonna love that first 15 minutes of little Diana, and then after that, you're gonna go to sleep.
Yeah,
until Kristen Wiig's character starts becoming kind of a villain. Like, that's when the movie picks up again. Like, from that point, after she's a child, until Kristen Wiig starts becoming Cheetah, the movie is dull. Like,
it's very dull.
It's just stagnant. Like, and then they don't even really tell you anything. Like, I still don't remember Wonder Woman wishing for Steve to come back. I don't.
She didn't even wish for it. She just like thought about it.
Yes, and that's what I don't understand.
And it's like, I don't know. There's a lot of things, but with that said,
but you have to speak it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They capitalize on you have to speak it. That's how he was saying, like, the entire, just say what you want and it's yours. But she never said it. Oh, is it because she's an Amazonian, so she's so powerful that her thoughts can be, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, fucking.
It was, it has issues. It has issues. To say the least, it has issues. But, with that said, guys, let us know what you guys think of this movie. It definitely has issues. It also has some pros. Let us know what you guys think. It had over the first Wonder Woman. Maybe let us know what you guys thought the first woman had over this movie.
Let us know how you guys felt about the villains of this movie. You know what I mean? I would have rather had the dude become more of a villain than he was, but all in all, what would you rate this out of a 10? 1 out of 10. What would you rate this on the Marvel Bros scale?
5.
Yeah.
In that it's still watchable, but it has a lot of issues. I was gonna say 4, but I was like, that's too negative. I feel like because that's like a bad movie.
It's better than a 4. Yeah, it's better than a 4, but
5, it's half. If
you're saying it's a 6 is pushing it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I can't give it a 6. Like that's being a terrible reviewer at that point.
I agree.
That's like reviewing it that's giving it a good point because you're a DC fan. Like, that's not.
Yeah. And honestly, even as a DC fan, I feel like that would make it lose points because no fan service. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. The swinging from the lightning bolts kind of killed it.
And there was like no like you didn't see anything about Batman. Well, this is way early, I guess. Never mind.
Yeah. This is 1984. So.
Yeah, never mind.
But it still doesn't make sense, man.
Maybe about other heroes, maybe like heroes in that time, like because there's just certain things I wish we didn't see any Easter eggs. It's not like
yes, that was the biggest issue. We didn't see like, and then she wore the armor and it didn't even matter. Like the wings got broken.
That's true. So they protected her and like survived all that damage from those humans and like.
Immediately, you got just claws just tearing it to shreds.
Yeah, tearing it to shreds. So, I don't know.
Fuck out of here, man. We're giving it a 5. I'll give it a 5 as well.
Yeah.
We're gonna rate this movie a 5 on the Marvel Bros scale. Let us know what you guys would rate this movie out of a 10. 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
What would you give it? It's a 5 here, definitely.
Definitely.
And before we sign off, I'll just say it again. Make sure you look at our website, www.marvelbros.com. You can donate. All contributions just help better what we're doing around here. We have merchandise that you can purchase as well. All of that good stuff. Make sure you check out our shirts, the pillows, the mugs. We got everything on there. So
Mhm.
check it out. Check out our Discord. Link is in the description. And we also have all of our episodes up on Spotify now, baby. Yeah, that's right. We're Spotify. We are on Spotify. It makes
Yep.
us, it gives me a whole new, like, I don't know. It just makes me feel good.
So
being
exciting. So
Yeah,
exciting.
it's so exciting to be able to just be like, oh yeah, we're on Spotify and just see all of our episodes right there.
Yeah.
It makes me happy. It just lets us know how far we've came with this Marvel Bros stuff.
Yep.
It's been a wonderful year. It's been a crazy year,
Yeah.
honestly.
An
It's been a
insane
pretty
year.
good year for Marvel Bros. You know, we got a lot of good ideas, got a lot of good
Mhm.
stuff coming out. Next year is going to be amazing.
Yep.
This is
Even better, hopefully.
this is the last episode of the year. The last episode of Marvel Bros of 2020.
Adding to what Mark was saying earlier, also don't forget to follow us on our social medias at Marvel Bros 23 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to neglect to check out our YouTube channel where we post a gameplay, we post all of our
culture news updates. Yeah, we post everything. Like Christian was saying, check everything out. Our episodes of Marvel's Avengers are up there right now. You can check it out. I think we got 4 episodes up. We're gonna continue the playthrough coming here soon. So make sure you guys check out those episodes. Make sure you comment on them. Make sure you drop a like on them. Make sure you share them with your friends.
yeah, just don't forget to follow us on our social medias. And thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you guys. You know, as Mark was saying, make sure to leave a like, follow, share. Helps out a lot.
Helps out so much. Helps out tremendously. And we will see you guys next year for our first episode of Marvel Bros for 2021. Our first pop culture news update. Hopefully, there's some dope news. We love you guys. Peace, love, and Excelsior.
See you guys later. Bye bye.